Okay, so whenever we're thinking about playing this for real, obviously, I always love it when professors say obviously because it usually means I have no idea what I'm doing, please don't ask. But I think it's pretty obvious that we just want to keep asking this question over and over again. So don't do this. Don't do this. But in theory, essentially what you want to do is if we're going to keep guessing, really what we would want to do is just keep asking them, give me a row, give me a column, over and over and over and over and over and over. So the question is, how many times do we want to keep doing this code? And the answer is, I don't know, until they've guessed all the battleshipy things. And, well, yeah, that's the answer. So, shockingly, this is not the most efficient way to code. Because, for example, what if I do all this and then the boss is like, hey, I don't like that you said gimme, I want you to say give me. And then they're like, you have to do it all by hand. And you're like, I guess I could do find replace, but then for some reason I can't. Anyway, if you ever find yourself doing this in code where you're doing copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, you've done something wrong. I mean, maybe not wrong, but certainly not very efficient. So, let's have a discussion. So where did we start doing this? Okay, right here. Okay, so essentially what we want to do is, I said, well, how often do we want to do this? And y'all are like, well, until we've guessed everything. The answer is yeah, until we've guessed everything. Okay, so really what we need to do is we need to keep track of how many boats we've hit. So I'm going to propose that every time we hit a boat, that we disappear it from the target, okay? So I'm going to add one thing to what we had before. So if we do get a hit, I'm going to say we take the target at row guess, call guess, and set it to 0. So make the ship go away, okay? Make that part of the ship, at least. Make that part of the ship go away. I'm actually going to unsuppress that right now so that you can kind of see what happens. So I'm going to run this again. So if I go 1, 1, so look at what happened to the target. Look, this little boat part is gone. So think about it. If I keep hitting the boats, or the pieces of the boat, then eventually all the boats will be gone. Does that make sense? So eventually, if this entire matrix is a matrix of zeros, then that means all the boats have been hit, okay? So there's two different things that you can do, or not two, there's a lot of different things you can do in Matlab, but there's a couple of different ways that you can repeat steps. And one of the things you can do in Matlab is you can say, well, while something is true, just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it until some kind of condition is met. So essentially that's kind of what I want to do here is I want to say while blah 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 do this stuff here. So here, I'm going to do this. Now click all that, right click and say do smart indent right there. Okay. So while something, I want to do this. Okay. So while there are still while there are still ships in this world, I want you to keep asking for me to hit more ships. So the question is, well, how do I know there are still more ships? So what we're going to do is we're going to go off into what we call in programming kind of like a little sandbox. So I'm going to go off to the side. So if I target, let me show you what I can do. So if I say sum of target, so if I have target and I ask for the sum of the target, let me see, I'll see clear. Notice what I get. So it's going to add the columns here. So if I sum the sum of the target, it gives me a 6. So if I sum the sum of the target and that's 0, then that means I've hit all the targets. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and again, this is just kind of off to the side for funsies, is I'm going to say while the sum of the target is greater than 0, I want to keep asking this question. Alrighty, so it doesn't seem like we've done much. In fact, it feels like we've done very little, and this is the frustrating thing about programming, is you do almost nothing and it turns out to be basically everything. So this is saying while there are still ships in the ocean. So while they're greater than 0. Now not while they're greater than equal to 0, because if it's equal to 0, that means that there are no ships left. So while there are still ships in the ocean, I want to keep asking for more ships. So give me a row, 1, 1. Ah! So I have to think about, what did I do wrong here? Now this is called an infinite while loop. I'm going to pretend that I did this on purpose, which I didn't, but we're going to pretend. While it's doing this, clicking in here, hit Control C. Okay, so look at what's going on. So look at what happened, is I asked for the row and the column, and then I did the while loop. So that was pretty dumb, because see what happened is I've only asked for the row and the column, and then I never repeat those steps, I only repeat all the other steps. So the code's not working because it did exactly what I asked it to. So it was a beautiful example of how to screw up. So I'm going to show you how to undo that again. So I hit Control Enter to run it. I gave it a 1, 1, and this is again, it's doing it over and over. Notice it's saying it's a miss because once I hit it the first time, it's never there the second time. And it's running and running and running. So I'm going to click in here again. I'm going to hit Control C to make it stop. Okay, so obviously this is not a good place for this. I want to move it here because I do want to ask, so I need to indent these here. So I actually want to ask for a row and a column more than once. I want to ask for the row and the column every single time. All right, so let's run this again. Row 1, column 1. And so see, now it's asking me for the row and the column again because it's inside the while loop. It's asking me for it multiple times. So give me a row. 2, 1, because I just remember where my target is. So just to make sure, if I go 2, 2, I should get a miss. Yep, there's my miss. So 3, 1, and 4, 1, and 4, 3, and 4, 4, and then I win, which is kind of anticlimactic because, as you can see, as soon as I win, the program is over and nothing happens. So mayhaps I should just put in like a little happy, way to go, you are like kinda amazing. Okay, you win. So let me try that again, just so that I know I won, because otherwise it seemed kind of lame. I'm just gonna go with that seemed kind of lame. So I'm gonna run it again. Give me a row 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, 3. Oops, dang it. Stupid error. 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, 3, 4, 4. And I won. Okay, we're going to do more with this, but this is a good start because there's a lot of stuff that we can do with this to make this more fun, but this is the basic functionality. And anytime you're making code, you always want to get the basic functionality working first before you do anything fun with it. So right now we have a basic Battleship game that generally works, and that should make us marginally, generally happy.